So summers are here, and what we are going to do is we are going to brew some very nice iced coffee today. The coffee that I've chosen here is an Ethiopian coffee, which was roasted by Vesnago, based out of Shah Alam in Malaysia. It's a Bergview Selection washed Yergachev. It's a pretty light roast. Most Ethiopian coffees have a very nice acidity and a lot of florality, which goes with an iced brew. From my experience, they also hold up very well, even when being a little diluted over time. Before I start grinding the coffee, I'm going to rinse my filter paper. I'm using the Kalita Wave filter paper here with an origami dripper. Rinse the filter paper with room temperature water so that the dripper and the filter does not get too hot. I'll start off with weighing the beans here. I'll also talk basically how I approach an iced coffee. I'm going to set my grinder to a relatively fine grind, so around 18 clicks, because I want the drawdown to be very slow. The extraction to happen over a long time, a good extraction in a condensed dose. I'm going to use 20 grams of beans. I'll talk through the recipe as I go. Coming to the recipe, I've got my carafe here and I've got a big bowl of ice here. I'm going to do like a total brew of 1:15. So 20 grams of beans to 300 grams of water. But I'm going to divide it into two parts. 40% of it is going to be ice and the rest 60% is going to be water. 120 grams of ice, 180 grams of water. And I'm going to add 120 grams of ice into this curd. My ground coffee onto here. For this coffee, we are going to do a very short bloom to have more acidity in the coffee. 50-gram bloom for 20 seconds. Right. My next pour up to 100 grams. The pour after this, I'm going to bring it up to 140. Then I'm going to bring it up to 180. The next water once I see that the entire bed of coffee has dried out. That's 140. The agitation that I'm doing here is the coffee and water are in contact with each other for a longer time. Bring it up to 180. The drawdown time for this brew is similar to brewing it hot. A 2-minute 30-second drawdown time. It's 2 minutes 33. Everything has drawn. Next, give this a nice swirl. The swirling here is so that a lot of the ice melts and cools down the brew. I have taken my cup here, top it off with ice. And how much ice you want at this stage is going to be based on your own preference. I like a lot of ice. And now I'm going to have a little taste. Very nice. Very light. Very zingy. It has a little bit of that lemongrass sort of note. There's not a lot of aroma, which I would say is to be expected out of any like iced coffee. Usually when you have, when the coffee cools down, you lose a lot of the aromatic things that are happening. Having a coffee iced changes the perception of what you're going to drink. Changes a lot of the olfactory sensations. As I've said, like it's a really lightly roasted Ethiopian washed coffee. It has that typical Ethiopian flavor profile with a lot of citrus, bergamot, tea-like qualities to it. It is quite juicy. It behaves very different when it's hot. I have not found a lot of the peach jam or honey notes that was mentioned. I have found a lot of citrus blossom, citrus syrup sort of notes, a lot of lemongrass kind of things. There is a sort of a faint lemon tea thing going on in the background, especially in this ice brew. The lemon tea note is very faint. Also sweet, not honey sweet, like a fruit sweetness, a ripe fruit. the kind of bite you get from the sugars with the juiciness, like a very berry forward sweet note. This coffee is a Ethiopian washed heirloom variety from the Yergachev region in Ethiopia. Yergachev coffees are something I have personally enjoyed quite a lot. It is my preferred coffee profile. There is a lot of florality, a lot of white florals, some amount of blueberry or a strawberry aspect. They are really light, sweet, citrus kind of notes. They lack a lot of the brown sugar, chocolate, nut, and that is why I prefer them. The coffee at this point is around 12 weeks old, and I would say it has opened up quite a lot. After the 1 month point, it still had a lot of grassy note going on and lacked that complexity. Over time, it has gotten better and better, and that has been my experience with all the West Nagopi coffees that I got. This is one of the coffees that I would suggest anybody to try it out if they feel that they like Ethiopian coffees but they find it to be lacking in mouthfeel, or when brewed hot, it has juiciness and a lingering aftertaste. The lingering aftertaste in this coffee has also been quite pleasant. It has that sort of fruity linger. When you have a nice juicy fruit, the kind of aftertaste remains on your palate, right? That is the kind of aftertaste you get with this coffee. There are also a lot of florals, which I find vanish quite soon. You will have a lot of these, like a sweet custard kind of note along with a lot of florals, and especially white florals and like citrus blossom or orange blossom kind of floral notes, which I find they evaporate very early on. So you get a lot of it, like it fills up the room with that sort of florality, but once you let it sit even for a minute, that florality sort of vanishes away, which is quite disappointing. It reminds me of lemon iced tea, a Nestea or something like that, which is quite interesting. So another thing that I'm going to try to do here with this video onwards is try to have like a flavor wheel or my thoughts around the coffee in a small snippet. And I would say, like, I highly recommend this coffee. This has been one of the top Ethiopian coffees that I purchased last year. This is very close. This comes in very close behind the Say Hamasho, I would say, when it comes to the Ethiopian coffees I've tried. Yeah, highly recommend this coffee. Highly recommend this roaster. They do a really good job with the light roasts. That is also a quite interesting thing to see how at different stages the complexity and the aromas and the taste profile, it increases and gets better and better over time. This has been my review of the West Nagopi washed heirloom Ethiopian coffee from Yergachev region. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy this iced brew in these summer months. Try this recipe out with a couple of other coffees. Let me know how it goes for you. Please do comment below recommendations from your side. Try out a different coffee or different recipes or anything else in general. Bye guys. Cheers.